Hello everyone and welcome to my art studio. My name is Samantha Carroll and I'm your drawing instructor. I wanted to take a few minutes just to record the supply list so you weren't completely lost at the art store. Okay, let's get started. Okay, the first thing I'm asking you to buy is a drawing tablet. What's important about this is that it says drawing. It could also say sketch. The name brand doesn't matter, but it needs to say drawing or sketch. Other things you could buy, like you could get confused by, would be newsprint or watercolor. You want to stay away from all of that and just get something that says drawing. It's also important the size. This says 9 by 12. This is our minimum size. It's a good amount of space to do the drawing, so this is suggested. I wouldn't do anything smaller than this. However, you could go a little larger than this, like 11 by 14. If you want to save some money, you can think about buying a small pack of art materials in one bag. So this is a pack I picked up at Michael's. I believe it was like $8, and I have graphite pencils in here. I have an eraser, a pencil sharpener, and charcoal pencils, and a blender. I will need to buy most of these things separately if I didn't get them in the pack. So buying it together can save me a little bit of time. A graphite pencil can look different ways. So this is a graphite pencil. This is a different company's graphite pencil. The important thing is this back part here. It says, trying to get it in focus. It doesn't want to be in focus. Basically, it says HB there. That's telling us how light the pencil is. This is another HB pencil. So what you want to do is you want to buy a group of pencils, and you need to get an HB. This is a well-used 2B pencil, and then also an H and a 4B. In the pack, it came with HB, 2B, and a 2H. So this is a good assortment of pencils. I'm not really picky on the exact grades of pencils you need, but you want to get something around HB, 2B, and an H. And then after that, I'm asking that you get charcoal pencils. Charcoal pencils are different in that they usually have an adjective to describe them. So this says it's 4B, but soft. And then this one is 2B medium. If you haven't used charcoal pencil before, which I'm assuming most of you haven't, I would suggest getting the soft pencil, but you need 2 of these, okay? And then after that, the confusing thing is I say soft vine charcoal. This is a pack of soft vine charcoal. It says vine charcoal up here, and it says soft right here. This is a small pack of soft vine charcoal. Let me show you. It has 3 sticks in it like this. We use vine charcoal. Let me show you how to use it. We use it because it's really easy to erase. So if I open up my vine charcoal and take out a piece, I can quickly make a mark, and then I can just use my finger to smear it. So this is the power of vine charcoal. It did not come in my kit. I had to buy it separately. Now some kits will come with something called compressed charcoal. That is an optional material, and it will look like this. It will be a rectangle. Compressed charcoal is optional. Vine charcoal is required. So we want to get the charcoal that's round and that's not a rectangle. That's probably the most confusing thing about the materials, but I'll keep on going on in case you want more information. So I'm asking that you get a kneaded eraser. A kneaded eraser is almost always going to look like this. It is in a plastic bag, and it's just, let me see if I can open it. I wanted to show you guys how it looked, because once we use it, it's not going to look the same. We use a kneaded eraser. It's called kneaded because we treat it like bread dough and we knead it to clean it. But we use a kneaded eraser to lighten our lines. So we just push it like putty and it'll lighten. Instead, the charcoal will go on the eraser and then we just move it around to clean it. So you do need one of these, one kneaded eraser. And then in addition to that, I just have one regular eraser. So I just use this pink eraser, something like that is fine. You could also get an eraser in a holder. It's kind of hard to see. It's not a mechanical pencil, but an eraser that I love. But you could buy something like this. We just need our kneaded eraser to lighten the lines, and then another eraser to just remove the charcoal or the graphite entirely, so it's like it was never there. So that's why we need two different erasers, okay? Just a regular ink pen that you use to take notes for another class, that's fine. Or you could buy an art ink pen. So this is a micron pen. I can show you the difference. The ballpoint pen, you already know about that. It's pretty nice, normal. The micron pens are nice because they come in different sizes. So this is 0.03 millimeters, and it makes a really small controlled mark. These are also, I'm looking to make sure I'm telling you the truth, these are also waterproof and permanent. So if you were to do like an ink project, you could use this first and then put water-based ink on top. If we used this pen, it would get all smeary and it wouldn't work as good. But if this is what you have or you're short of money, it's fine. Some artists actually love using just big regular pens. But if you have a little more money and want to try something different, you should try to buy a micron pen. Okay. After that, I'm saying you need fixative spray. So you need something like that looks like this. It's important that it says fixative. This one says workable fixative. They'll either say workable fixative or final fixative. Actually, there's not that much difference between them. You just need to get something that says fixative spray. We're going to use this on top of our charcoal drawings so they will not smear anymore. If you go to the art store, they might be out of fixative spray, and they might try to sell you something that says like this, matte finish or some kind of varnish. Do not believe them. They're going to tell you it's the same as fixative. It's not. It works similar, but this is harder to use. Like you can ruin your drawings very easily by using this. So do not buy this. Instead, make sure it says fixative. And if they don't have it at the art store when you're buying your supplies, just hold off and go back later. We actually won't need this for maybe a month or something. So you have a lot of time before you need to really get this. Okay, those are the basic supplies. If you have extra money or if you're really excited about this art class, like I am, there are a few more supplies you could buy. So I'm asking for a small bottle of ink. This brand is called Sennelier. This is their black ink, and it's just a tiny bottle. I'm also asking to use with the ink for a watercolor brush, or this is a Chinese ink brush. It's like a regular paintbrush, but there are bristles that are held together with glue. When I go ahead and break that glue just by pressing down on the bristles and playing around with it, you'll see it'll come. It's like a regular brush, but we need something like that to use with our ink. You could also, instead of using a Chinese ink brush, you could just get a watercolor brush from the art store. You want to get like around a size 6 round. So there'll be a number on it, and it should say 6, something around there, okay? And then the last thing you want is you want a palette, or this is my well-loved ice cube tray for the ink. Remember that these 3 ink supplies, the ink bottle, the ink pen, the ink brush, and the palette, these are just all optional. We will have an optional activity you could do during the semester using ink. However, because ink is made with a brush usually, it's, I don't know how to say, it's very different than what we normally do. And so some students, this isn't their favorite, but there's always 1 or 2 students that actually love it. So if you have the extra money to spend, go ahead and buy this, otherwise don't. Those are our basic supplies we need. For the start of this semester, what you need is this drawing tablet, and then also a pencil, and I'm looking for my eraser, but it's now a mess, and an eraser. You need these 3 things for the beginning. Probably for the first month, you're good with just these 3 things. So if you're short of money right now, if you're waiting for your financial aid to come in, just get these 3 things and wait to get the charcoal till later. Forgot to say, last thing I'll say, it is also helpful if you have a pencil sharpener, so it could be something like this, or you could use an X-Acto knife. That's what this is, and my kit came with this. This is a sanding block. This is a different way to get your pencils sharp. This is the usual art method. So I'll show you guys how to use an X-Acto knife. I routinely use X-Acto knives for my sharpening pencils, but I know some students are really intimidated and that's not their thing, and they would just rather use a pencil sharpener. So you could go ahead and do that, or you could try to use an X-Acto knife, okay? Okay, that's it. I hope that clears up the art supplies, you guys. Thank you. Have a good day.